And we're live on the YouTube as well, I think. Right, so everyone, welcome to Shooting Shit episode 107.
The cat is being pusillanimous today.
Yeah, and just yes. So I don't know, whatever. I don't know. Just talk about whatever, because I've got nothing apart from playing games. I've just been playing some Titanfall.
We just keep talking about what we were talking about.
Okay, I've got.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we usually start with games first.
Okay.
Since it's a more game oriented.
Well, what games have you been playing, Torin? What games?
Well, right. So, I seen Battlefield 1 for like 25. It's like 50% off, and I heard that like it had a really good single player. So, I wasn't going to buy it for the multiplayer because it's fucking what I don't like the multiplayer. It's fucking awful. But since it was 50% off and people were saying you should play the single player because it's quite good, I thought, yeah, why not? I've got the cash since Christmas and stuff, so I may as well. Because remember, my birthday and Christmas is at like the same time, pretty much. Well, it's a week apart. So I've sort of got like 2 or 3 things and people giving me like money and stuff. So I get enough to buy 2 or 3 games, right? So, so I had it and I was like, oh, what other game? Because I've got like Titanfall 2 already. I've got like that. I was just looking about, and then it's like my mate got Battlefield 1 for full price. He said the campaign was good. I heard from other people that review games that I trust said that this single player is good. So when I seen it at 50% off, I thought, you know what, 25 quid, yes, okay. So yeah, I got that. So it is quite a good single player. We're getting a lot of good single player games this year. Like there's Titanfall 2, it was really good. Doom was really good. The Titanfall, did I say Titanfall 2? Doom, Titanfall 2, yeah. Dishonored 2,
yeah.
And Battlefield 1. They're all really quite good single player games, and seemingly the new COD is quite a good single player game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm not touching that. They piss me off nearly as much as DICE has, but DICE sort of got away with it because they made one of the best games ever, which was Battlefield 1942.
Yeah.
So, you can let it be beast then.
I haven't been playing anything really this week.
There you go. Yeah, get chicken.
And by the way, the shooting Air Canada just confirmed that there's no record of the guy being on their flight.
That's really weird. But yeah, so anyway, loads of single player games. If people on single players, they're really fucking good and stuff. And the multiplayers, I don't know. I don't really like multiplayer nowadays. It's too consoled. You get fucking unlocks and fuck about too much and stuff. Mm-hmm. The Doom one's okay because that doesn't have that as much. I think there's like certain bits of the Doom one that they sort of don't have it.
Yeah. So
that might be okay. But then they do something stupid like put in special DLC type stuff, and that lets you play different monsters if you get 6 kills in a row and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that just fucks it up. Again, it fucks it up because then like people that just buy the game and don't want the DLC and stuff are at a disadvantage in the multiplayer. That's what I fucking hate about like DLC that does that. It's like, why? You've wrecked your like the makeup of the game because like someone can just throw money at it and get better.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not right. It's fucking pissing me off. So yes, that's but the single players are quite quite fucking interesting. Like, there's a lot of single player games that are, but you don't really get that many.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we've not had a good RPG this year, which is, so that's disappointing because I like my big epic RPGs like The Witcher 3 and stuff, and like the first Dragon Age, and I don't even know if there's any coming up this year either. But at least we had games that had a decent single player, and if you put them all together, it maybe make up about the same amount of hours you spend on an RPG story. So, because usually other games don't have that good a story. Usually it's like cliche, and especially the shooters. I'm really surprised at how much effort they put in the shooter game stories. Like Doom wasn't that great, but I mean it's Doom. Like what you could do with Doom, the point in Doom was you go about shoot shit. So that's Titanfall sort of done quite a good job as well. I think that's what makes the difference. The difference is usually in a shooter game, there's not really much there, but they got quite creative with the things and also the mechanics of the game as well. So yeah, it's quite good. Anyway, that's been about it, and I've been playing a wee bit of multiplayer Titanfall and a wee bit of Battlefield 1, but it's fucking horrible. The multiplayer Battlefield 1 is like if there's just snipers around, you're dead. You'll spawn and you're dead. You spawn and you try and get to the bit that you should be at, you're dead. Like, just...
You know who they should start hiring to do security at airports? You guys that are playing Call of Duty all the fucking time, because you're probably better shots than the cops are.
I don't know if you would be. It's a lot different shooting a gun.
It's extremely different shooting a gun and playing a game. I've done both.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently this guy, they're saying that he literally walked in before this, he had walked in the FBI and said, "I'm being forced to fight for ISIS," and they didn't arrest him.
That's weird.
He walked into an Anchorage, Alaska office and said, "I'm being forced to fight for ISIS," and nothing happened.
Maybe they thought he was taking a piss, but I mean, like, or maybe but even if that, right, you would want to
see. Here's why to me, when stuff like this happens with the military and everything else and the government, it seems suspicious because, days before the Fort Lauderdale shooting, the state legislature was considering an open carry bill to carry weapons in an airport.
Yeah.
And then a shooting happens in an airport. It just seems weird to me. It just seems fucking weird. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, but it's weird.
It's a weird conspiracy theory.
It's a weird coincidence. Is all I'm saying, that's all.
Yeah.
It's a weird coincidence, and it's so funny.
I think the bird's got his tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
No, but these people are pretty much saying now that if everyone else had a gun in that airport.
Lots of stuff has been happening at airports. Airports have been the central terrorist activity central for quite a while. There's been terrorist central at airports. It's where they like to go.
Not really since 9/11. Not that much.
They still have done things at airports and airports in other countries.
Airline or airport or whatever.
They done an airport in Glasgow, Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They drove. I can't remember what year it was, but it was after 9/11. Like, I don't know. It might have been 2006 or something.
Oh, yeah, and apparently CNN edited a photo of the guy to make him look more white.
Anyway, they drove this, like, I don't know, you know, the big sort of Land Rover type things. They're not trucks, but they're quite big vehicles, right? Not as big as the American ones, but just like the European ones.
Yeah.
Like, so they had one of them, and they drove that through the main windows of the airport. Because, like, the airports, like, there's doors, and, like, you know how airports have got a lot of windows, big windows on them?
Yeah.
They drove straight into the windows the car stopped. 2 guys got out, and they think they had, I think they had bombs on them. But this Scottish guy, or this guy and his mate,
also,
this guy and his mate ran up, knocked both of them out, and the police were called and they got arrested, and there was bombs found in the car.
"I'm not Jewish" before he shot people. That's what he said. All the reports are saying that he was yelling, "I'm not Jewish." Like what? It's weird. It's definitely probably not ISIS related. Then it's probably some other terrorist group. But it's just like, I don't know. It's fucking weird.
No, why would you shout, "I'm not Jewish"? Like what?
Fort Lauderdale shooter is from Alaska, and that he yelled, "I'm not Jewish," and I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. Like what? Like I would, if he shouted, "I'm not Muslim," it might make more sense, right?
Wearing a yarmulke when they arrested him.
Like, well, I don't. That's fucking retarded.
I know.
I have no idea what the fuck was going on there.
Some people are saying that he said nothing, but other people are saying that he said, "I'm not Jewish." So we don't know if that's true or not. But if that happened,
eyewitness reports aren't exactly 100% accurate or anything.
Well,
a lot of people get caught up in the moment.
The military normally during a military investigation doesn't release details.
Well, no.
Afterwards.
Well, no, they wouldn't.
Exactly.
It's just weird, and that's in Canada, right?
No, this was in the States. He flew from Canada to Florida.
All right.
It was in Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also apparently there's a giant ice sheet about to break off in Antarctica, the size of like Dakota or some shit. And
that's huge.
Yeah, you know how everyone was sitting around here and going like, "Yeah, 2017 is gonna be better than 2016."
I'm not. I'm just waiting.
I already think it's really nice. I already think it's really nice. Like, lots of SJW tears. I'm all for that.
You mean like that mentally disabled guy that got attacked and kidnapped and?
Oh, that man!
That's different. I actually see. That's what I have. I have a news article about that.
That happened. That happened after the New Year, did it not?
Yeah, they were saying he was targeted, right? They're saying that he was targeted because of his disability, not because of his race. Even though
they're charging him with a hate crime. They're charging him with a hate crime.
They are charging him with
because
of
his disability. A hate crime based on the disability, though, not based on the race. They said they're charging him with a hate crime because the guy was mentally challenged.
I didn't hear this police specify what hate crime he was being charged with when I watched the police statement.
The cops have confirmed that it's because of his disability.
Well,
they're trying to downplay the race thing, right? Even though the attackers were yelling, "Fuck white people!" Like
they said "F Donald Trump, F white people." They also made fun of his disability as well in the video. I actually have the video, but I don't know if we should play it because the YouTube thing might get taken down.
No, but we'll play the audio later.
I can't watch it.
Yeah, I do.
We'll play the audio from it later if it's got audio.
Hopefully the link still works, but it was working just fine earlier. So I do have that.
I have me crying on stream. I can't watch it.
We have.
But you can hear it.
Anyways, I do also want to bring up the Huffington Post. Their whole thing yesterday was their title for the thing was they wrote allegedly in their thing man with special needs allegedly gagged and tortured. Are you serious? There's a video and they're just allegedly.
It was live streamed on YouTube.
No, it was live streamed on Facebook.
Well, yeah, it was live streamed.
Yeah, it was live streamed. But anyways, I just like Huffington Post thing. Everyone, all the mainstream media was trying to downplay it. I think CNN, the black woman, I can't remember her name. She was trying to really downplay it and make it about black people or something, and how it's she kind of victim blamed a little when I watched. I can't remember her exact quote. I wish I wrote it down.
Could you imagine what would happen if it was the opposite way about?
Oh no, there would be riots in the street. Literally, because that's what the other side does now. The left is riot.
But it would be a hate. It would be a hate crime twice, though.
Yeah, it would be. But we all know it's a hate crime. We all know they did it because he was white and maybe voted Trump, and he was easy target because he had a disability.
Exactly. That's exactly why they done it. I think he was seemingly friends with one of them.
He was he was kind of friends. They said, I believe that he wasn't like super best friends with the guy, but he was like,
No.
That they were
This is the case where they pretend to be friendly with the guy, and because of his mental capacity, he thinks, oh, they're friends with me. They're inviting me over to their house for a sleepover.
I don't think they hung out before.
They invited him to a sleepover. Okay, on New Year's Eve, he was supposed to go to a friend's house for a sleepover. This one person that he knew. He knew one of them. So his parents drop him off at McDonald's. They pick him up in a stolen van, drive him around for a couple days, and then they text the family and say, we've got your son, blah, blah, blah. And then they go to that house in Chicago and put it live on Facebook.
Yeah, the torturing of him.
No, I heard.
Honestly, very sad. Like he's like cowering in the corner.
I heard that. I heard that they actually did go to a party, and so they weren't just driving about in the car. They did go to a party.
No, they didn't. They literally drove around for 2 days. That's what the news report is saying now.
Right. See, I've not caught up lately.
The news report
I heard the same thing, that they were driving him around in the van for a while, but they had him in the house for like 5 or 6 hours of torture.
Yeah, so it's like, who knows? Who fucking know? Well, they said 24 to 48 that he was in that house for, but I don't think it's torture the whole time. But like when they're showing it, it's just like, I don't know. For everyone to try and downplay this and YouTube to take it down, like the video is horrific, but
I think YouTube's taking it down because of the horrificness of the video. It's actually it's quite graphic. It's
because of the content.
Sure, but it's no more graphic than like the military shooting a bunch of people in Afghanistan or something.
They're taken down too.
You know,
not from
the part that got to me. Okay,
LiveLeak and other places have LiveLeak and other places have different things, but YouTube would definitely take anything like that down.
I've got I've got an autistic child, so this story in particular made it really hard for me to listen to.
Oh yeah, it's fucking awful that they're picking on disabled kid. Little shit.
He was the easy. That was the easy target. That's what made him an easy target, sadly. Because they are too much of pussy to actually kidnap anybody else.
To be honest, I think that the parents should have like looked into it and went, "Who is this friend?" They instead of just dropping him off as well, just to make sure.
I think it would depend on his dependency level, and he might have done this kind of thing before, and it actually went through where he stayed the night at a friend's house, because that would put the parents more at ease.
I would still not trust anyone.
It's off topic, but it's ridiculous.
But you wouldn't expect though. No parent would expect that.
I trust no one. I trust no one. So I would be like, who is this person? I've not met them before. Can I meet them before? We're not just dropping you off at McDonald's. Or if we would, then I'd sit and wait for the person
but he doesn't have that
to come before I went away.
To think like that.
I'm talking about the parents. Because he's got that, I'm talking about the parents should have done this, right?
No, but you know what it was? The parents were probably just happy that he made a new friend. You know?
It doesn't matter. The parents should have, because he's got that, right? You need extra attention.
I don't know. He's 18.
Right? You need to make sure. Doesn't matter. My wee sister's fucking 35. Well, no, she's not, but she's 33, and there's no way that we would take her to McDonald's, drop her off, and drive away. It just wouldn't happen. We'd make sure everything was safe and then leave. and then come back 30 minutes later or something.
Oh, by the way, I just
Actually,
got a
but
comment
she's
on my religious
severely,
video.
she
on
is
YouTube
Down
that's saying-
syndrome, so it's a wee bit different. But
Yeah.
I know we would definitely meet the person before just driving away.
Oh yeah, by the way, I just got told that empiricism can't be tested.
What?
Empiric evidence that you can see and touch and smell can't be tested.
What?
Wait, what?
On a video,
I'm
I got
very
a comment
confused.
that told me that empiricism can't be tested.
On like, what was the video about? Did you have like physical
Islam.
evidence?
No, it was this guy saying that Christians deny God because they're also, or whatever, or that if Allah presented evidence, like came down from the sky and gave them pages of the Quran printed on parchment, that they still wouldn't believe it and all this bullshit. And I said that I don't believe in God because there's no
evidence.
I like to go by empiricism, stuff I can feel and see and touch and whatever. And that, I base my stuff on evidence and I don't have enough evidence for a God belief.
Right. Exactly.
So this person's trying to say that empiricism is the assumption that we are in the type of world that can and always will be tested. It's always going to be
What?
tested. It's like, no.
They're dumb.
Empiricism means I can see it, therefore it exists.
Yeah.
They're dumb.
Yeah.
Just type that. That's what I would do. I'd be like, you're dumb. I would end the discussion.
You don't understand. Just.
No,
it's
you don't
like talking
understand
to
how
a
long
child.
this. You don't understand how long this message he sent me is.
And I would send him the short, you're dumb.
Do you want me to read the whole thing?
No,
Mhm.
God, no.
Mhm.
You want to hear it? Okay.
So
I'll hear
this
this
video was literally this Muslim telling us, why atheists deny God and blah blah blah, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, okay. First, this person says the content just make it seems like you argue with Christians 90% of the time. I do, and you branched out just to say you do it. Oh, and you branched out just to say you do it. You don't seem to understand anything about the Muslim faith, so it's fair to say you're arguing from ignorance, even though this guy's not a Muslim. I know lots about the Muslim faith, thank you. I'm not a Muslim, but that's the anecdotal impression you're giving off. I know that's not an argument, but I expected you to talk about his holy book, not the Christian book. It's like, I did talk about his holy book. I said...
It's the same... It's pretty much the same God, though.
I know. And some arguments that might apply to Christians don't apply the same way to Muslims. Wrong. It applies to all... My arguments in this video apply to all religions.
Yep.
Anyway, he said his religion says, if you were to have sufficient evidence, you would deny God. That's an epistemic position, which it isn't. That's not epistemology at all.
That's retarded.
Yeah.
This guy, he's so dumb.
It doesn't seem to be his argument.
You're just making... You're
just
making him sound more and more dumb.
He's giving you his perspective from the perspective that the Quran is true. No. He's giving me perspective from the bias that the Quran is true.
Mm-hmm.
Your claim that you don't deny that God exists isn't relevant to his point. What? No, I didn't say I don't deny God exists. I said at this point I don't believe that God exists because I don't have enough evidence. Okay.
Yep.
First, he's using your, which is drive me nuts. YOU''RE. Your claim that you don't think the Quran is valid is irrelevant as well. In fact, any argument you bring to someone giving you their perspective rather than argument is a malformed argument. No. Using their emotion to argue it while saying that atheists don't believe in God because it's an emotional position. What? That's
The Lord of the Rings is a historical document. The Lord of the Rings is a historical document because I read it in a book.
Oh.
I think it's more of an emotional position to believe put all your faith in. That's more of an emotional position than it is to say that I want all the facts.
I know, but listen to this. Epistemic claims aren't subject to scrutiny because they always presume their own conclusion.
No, they don't.
That means that they're more open. No, that means that his arguments are more open to scrutiny if they already come into it with a bias of their answer.
Yeah. I think he's projecting.
He makes a mistake over and over, and most people make that mistake, making in all their arguments with people of different epistemology. I can't wait to respond to this guy, by the way.
This is why science exists.
There's more.
Right. If you
okay.
do science right, that bias
All right.
isn't there, because that's why you test things.
So,
and by the way, this
no,
is
but
a
Lauren,
video, right? This video is like 6 minutes long. All right.
We have to take the colonialism out of science and represent it with an African perspective.
There's no colonial. Oh, fuck.
All right, I got more. Hang on. Okay. You assert your standard for truth is valid. You claim that was historical documents. Doesn't really matter what you think. That standard is the point is valid no matter what standard you stipulate. And his standard is subject to your standard without proving that assertion. Likewise, someone ought to grant you your claim as inscrutable, but for the sake of parity, you should consider the absurdity of someone saying they reject historical documents as a valid standard for truth.
What?
The Quran is not a historical document, you fucking moron.
Exactly.
Well, wait. The Quran has some historical things in it, maybe events that took place. Muhammad was a real person who did live. So maybe his life, it's a historical.
There is no proof that anything in that book happened. There's no proof that anything happened in there. Any of it.
No, there's proof that Muhammad existed.
Yes, Muhammad existed. Okay.
And then he's in the book. So then it would be, I'm not saying any of the mystical stuff, okay? I'm talking about if you take that away, then you have like a guy and his life and his and stuff. So you can't, like, even though the Bible has like all this stuff, but the Bible actually has some historical value.
Yes, but it doesn't
prove the Romans. The Romans did put people on crosses and crucify them and shit.
You can kind of use it to as a, this is how people lived then. You can use it in that way, in that historical way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see. An even more clear example would be someone who rejects logic as a valid standard. A lunatic would be an example of someone who rejects logic is a valid way to prove things.
No.
Perhaps to the lunatic, whatever you hear next after eating a potato is true.
What?
Wait,
no.
what?
That's not how it works.
And yeah, I would consider someone who rejects logic to be a lunatic. Oh, guess what this guy in this video does? Rejects logic. Okay.
Exactly. So you must be a lunatic.
Okay, then he said, if you wanted to help such a person, you might feed them a potato and tell them potatoes don't render the next thing they hear to be true. So in other words, if a lunatic believes that eating a potato will make everything that's said to him become truth. Oh, God. The point is, epistemologies are best addressed from the inside out.
It's one salad.
Anyone can come up with a rescuing device to dismiss any historical document. It's not a historical document. Anyway, it was forged. No way to verify it. The tooth fairy left it, etc. I'm sorry, but you can verify certain other historical documents, like the one that friggin' Nostradamus wrote or whatever. Or
yeah,
some
but
of those.
I just told you that if there's one thing that he
or the Bill of Rights or.
Anyways, if there's one thing that guy has right, nothing else makes sense. It still can be used. It's still historical.
But look, let's say you write. But let's say you write some historical fiction, right? Let's say you write a historical romance novel, right? It's historic fiction, so there's some historical facts in it, but the rest of it is fiction. That doesn't make that book a historical document, does it?
What are you saying? Are you saying am I making up? Yeah, it depends on what way. Am I making up people? Like, do I really live during this time?
But the storyline
would still be a historic document because
that's what I mean. It's not a historical
ancient
document, is what I'm saying.
Right.
It's not like
I know. I know, but
it is a historical document. It is. It's got real people, real cities, real things that did happen. Okay,
it is, but it's
wars.
Not like at the same time.
Yeah, you just have to take away the mystical stuff, obviously. Like even with the Bible.
I'm talking about a historical fiction novel that you write. Okay, if you write a historical romance novel, right? Is that a historical document?
No.
Exactly.
Because it was written now.
But that's my point.
Okay, in 1,000. Wait.
See my point?
1,000 years. No, in 1,000. If I wrote an historical romance where I just made up
if you wrote,
the two romantics
hang on.
Wait. Let me finish. No, let me finish. If I made up 2 people, okay, that are fictional, okay, in my thing, but everything else was very factual, including the places, maybe even other people or events that took place, then in 1,000 years they could use that. Okay, now they know that these 2 people in it, the 2 main characters or whatever that are romantically involved, are not true. But then the book gives a sneak peek into life, how life was like at that point.
Yeah, so it could be you could use it as a historical reference.
But no scientist and no historian would use a fiction novel to try and.
Oh, really? History. Really? Because I think.
No, they would, to build a picture of what it was like and stuff. If it was like that, they definitely would.
They were able, historians and
because you're able to understand that the story might not be true, but the layout of the city and maybe the maps or whatever they've got in there, possibly could be.
Now you have to have more. You have to have more than just that. If you have another source to back it up that this is what the maps really looked like,
but he's also trying to claim,
then you could still use that as a historical document.
But he's also trying to claim archaeologists. The parts in it about Allah being God and doing all this mystical shit. This guy is arguing that that's true. That document proves that.
That's not true.
That's the mystical stuff that
you
have no evidence.
Right?
Yes, and he's trying to argue that the whole document
outside.
Yes, and he's trying to argue that the whole document is true, including those parts.
No, you have to have the outside evidence. If you have, there's other outside evidence for Muhammad being a person, for the cities. Even in the Bible, archaeologists have uncovered cities that were mentioned and talked about in the Bible that they didn't think maybe existed at the time, but then they rediscovered the city, and it's the city was also in the Bible. That is outside evidence supporting something that the Bible says, which now you can use the Bible and it's mentioned of the city as a historical reference for that city.
I've got one just because this is a thing I'm looking forward to Trainspotting too. So, but if you go back to Trainspotting, right, and if you've ever watched Trainspotting, it has Edinburgh, the city, real shots of Edinburgh in it. Okay, it's a real thing. It's not all made up, right? Does that mean the characters existed? No. But the shops did.
That they do.
No, but the shops did, and Edinburgh does. So you could use it as a historical picture of what Edinburgh looked like when that was filmed, right? But you couldn't say that the characters are definitely true, right? That's the point. That's where it gets different. If there's references to cities,
I don't think though that
things you can use
the only
that.
Reason why you can confirm that. Yes, but the only reason why you can confirm that Muhammad existed is because there were other historical sources that stated that he did.
Exactly.
Yes, you just have to have the outside sources to back it up. Now, the mystical things that happen in the Bible or in the Quran, if you don't have the evidence to back that up, then you have to remain skeptical.
How about this part? I said, as far as the way the universe was created, I said, it's possible that aliens seeded Earth. It's possible that we live on the back of a giant turtle, right? And I said all this shit. But I said that there's a good chance that the Big Bang actually happened, though. And this person said, there's no basis to determine probability of something in the past. All past events are deterministic. It doesn't make sense to say there's a good chance the Big Bang caused everything. It makes sense to say you're confident the Big Bang caused everything. It's not a matter of probability, though. It either did or it didn't. I wasn't debating whether it did or didn't. I'm saying that it could have happened. I was just trying to argue that.
There's more evidence for the Big Bang than there is for
I know, but he's trying to say that, I should say that I'm highly confident the Big Bang caused everything. Saying I think there's a good chance the Big Bang caused everything is the same thing as saying I'm confident the Big Bang caused everything. Is it not?
I would say so.
Like
he just reworded, said what you were saying in a different way.
It's the same thing. I said that there's a high probability that the Big Bang is the cause of everything. That's all I said. And that's what scientists believe too. No, but empiricism, he's wrong on empiricism because Empiricism is the theory that all knowledge is derived from sense experience. You know,
No, the guy you're talking to is an idiot.
and I'm gonna say the Quran, which you said Koran, by the way. It's when I spelled it correctly in my video. I'm gonna be like, okay, and the Quran has some historical things in it. Hang on.
That is also backed up by outside sources.
Yeah.
You gotta specify.
But there is more than one historical source that says he existed. The Quran is the only book that says the mystic things happened. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, talk about whatever you want.
Wait, where's Morn? Where'd Morn go?
I don't know.
Morn. Morn. Well, I could talk about my Pokemon game because I've been playing that and still loving it. I actually just recently, I got a shiny Poplio with modest ability, and I had, I had a nice 6 ID Ditto, which, people that play Pokemon would know what that is. So it's really, really nice IDs on my Poplio, which I've actually today evolved into Primarina for me. So I'm running around with my shiny Primarina. And if you guys do not have a modest shiny Primarina, you need to get on my Pokemon level because y'all are scrubs. Everyone else is scrubs if they don't have shiny, awesome versions of whatever starter they like. And so I'm very excited about that happening and me getting that or whatever. And it didn't take I got really lucky because it didn't take an overly ridiculous amount of time.
Nice.
I'm going to try to go for the other shiny starters as well because I had them through Wonder Trade. Like I got some starters through Wonder Trading and everything. And so either hopefully somebody will Wonder Trade me a shiny or I will be able to hatch one out of an egg.
Would you like to know how many people are actually listening right now?
Probably 0.
Yeah, exactly 0. Until we switch over to the podcast thing, I don't know if we'll have anybody.
I think some people listen to the podcast more than they do the radio show. More people listen to the podcast going on.
Yeah.
Then they don't really come on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Because they suck and they're scrubs.
Yeah.
Don't want any Pokemon news. I still haven't completely beaten the game though, which is hilarious. I haven't I'll stop playing the game to go and do other things like shiny hunt and shiny egg hatch.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a nice method for quickly hatching shiny eggs, so that really helped me out. I found on YouTube.
Yay.
It's where you.
I'm back. I'm just going to stop there. I've just noticed.
Yep.
The YouTube stoppage.
Oh no!
Stop.
The YouTube won't know the secret behind shiny egg hatching now.
Well, they will if they go to the website.
There you go. Go to the website
and listen to it later. On Tuesday it goes up. Or if they go to the website right now, it's live. So, but on Tuesday, if you're listening to this later, then on Tuesday it goes up, unless you donate to the pounds to the patron, and then you get it right away. As soon as the show's finished, it gets uploaded, and you can get access to it. It's not bad. So yeah, apart from that, the Birdies web page, YouTube channel. He's got one. He does.
Yeah, it's just
things.
Just
Yeah, he does things. It's quite good, and he does live stream.
Bullshit,
Yeah, anti-feminist stuff. sort of anti-religion stuff, atheists, the average things.
I trigger people, in other words.
Yeah, average chickerings. He also sometimes has other people on in a hangout and stuff. It's quite good.
Actually, I had a guest on my Google Hangout last night that has over 90,000 subscribers. So.
Oh, see, you're getting there, man. Getting there.
He didn't bring anybody to my video though.
Well, he might.
He didn't do anything. I didn't get any exploded subscriptions or nothing. You know.
Ah, well, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, bye YouTube. I've said what I need to say. Oh, Unvarnished has got a YouTube channel as well, but I don't know if she's uploaded anything.
I haven't recently. I'm still trying to get my artwork back onto my computer so then I can upload a video. But I do have an article I want to do.
Right. So
that I want to talk about on a video. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. Maybe at some point there'll be a video on her channel as well. Oh, right. Right. Yes. Goodbye, YouTubes.